Get ready to match the stars. Avery Schreiber, Brett Summers, Gary Burghoff, Arlene Francis, Richard Dawson, and Betty White as we play the star-studded Big Money Match Game 75. And now here's the star of Match Game 75, Gene Rivers.
Talk about pretty. Ow! Didn't you used to work for Flo Ziegfeld?
I used to work for Flo Ziegfeld.
Really?
You are a vision in chiffon.
Isn't it pretty?
It's chiffon.
You're a vision in plaid.
Oh, no.
That's all.
Talk to each other for a little bit now.
Tuning in tomorrow to Two Vision.
Two Vision. Is there anything I can do for anyone before we press on?
Yes.
Kiss me. I've already done it for you.
Give us a kiss.
No, I'm not going to kiss you. I'm going to kiss her.
No tongues.
That reminds me. I wasn't going to say it. Just, that's it. Sorry, you don't sit in the first row and you don't get that. He's got that disease, so I can't kiss her. Now, let's say John Sclementi and Rita Roth. Hello there. You got $950. How about that?
Pretty good, pretty good.
And you got a neat wardrobe, too, John.
Looks familiar.
Did you wear that once before?
Yes, I think.
Oh, well, I like it. Don't you like that? Isn't that neat?
Yeah. I liked it the other time, too.
Yeah.
La Cienega, here we come.
How are you today, Rita?
Fine, thank you.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Say the name of your hometown again.
Panguitch.
Panguitch.
It means big fish.
In Indian. In Indian. Are there fish there?
Oh, yes.
Oh, really? In streams and rivers?
A big lake called Panguitch Lake.
Oh, sure. That's right. The little town is right near the lake, isn't it? Panguitch Town and Panguitch Lake. All right, we're going to start right from the top with round one in 1 minute and 3.5 seconds. Start counting. Okay, Rita Roth.
I'll take A.
You'll take A. You can have A. And here's how A goes. A? Now, A, you've all heard the song, When the Swallows Come Back to Capistrano. I'm sure
When the
you've all...
swallows
No, that's
come
enough.
back.
That's enough.
Woman's had too many swallows already.
She's had too many swallows, that's right. There's a new song out called When the Vultures Come Back to Blank. When the Vultures Come Back
Did
to
you hear
Blank.
the one?
Yes.
Did you hear the one that goes, strangers in the blight, exchanging rashes? Did you hear that one? When the swallows...
So when the vultures come back to
Three
blank.
groins
When the
on a
vultures
mountain,
come back to blank.
That sounds perfectly good to
Dumb
me.
and Jewish, why is it wrong?
Come on now, write something
I
down.
have no idea what this is all about.
When the Swallows Come Back to Capistrano, as you know, is a famous song. Well, there's a new one called When the Vultures Come Back to...
Oh, I get it. Oh. Daddy's not
All
gonna
right.
like this answer.
That's pretty good.
I didn't know they had left.
No, it really kind of isn't.
Pretty good.
Son of a gun.
You see what she wrote? That's pretty good.
Thank you, Doctor. I needed that.
Are you still fiddling around up there?
Oh, I'm through fiddling.
All right. now
I'm
you
into
gotta-
the bass now.
Now, here we go. Rita Roth. Surely you remember the song When the Swallows Come Back to Capistrano.
Yes.
But perhaps you haven't heard the new one called When the Vultures Come Back to
San Quentin.
San Quentin. That's a marvelous answer.
Oh, that's
All right.
wonderful.
What did you say?
Well, I said when the vultures come back to swallow.
To swallow. Yeah, they are scavengers, aren't they? It's okay. Now, Brett.
Betty, are you going to be mad at me when you hear my answer?
What's the matter? Well, you're not well.
I'm not well, I'm nervous. I said when the vultures come back to eat the swallows.
Now she's mad.
I was on a different wavelength totally.
You may have been on the same one
I
as
was thought you were talking about real vultures, and I know they're at recess now, but when they come back to Washington, they'll start making some more laws.
Oh, that's a good answer. That's a very good answer
Don't
there.
be ashamed of it.
Hold it up there. Don't
I'm
be
not
ashamed.
ashamed of-
Yeah.
Not ashamed of my chest either.
No.
We are.
Oh, no. No. We're proud of yours, honey. We love it. But we don't necessarily want to see it.
That's what you all say.
That's because they've all seen it, honey.
Excuse me, just one second. That was a vicious thing to say.
That was a terrible thing to
If you
say.
don't behave yourself, I'll put mirrors in your room.
Now, you've heard it so when the swallows come back. The new one is called When the Vultures Come Back Too, and Rita said San Quentin, which was rather amusing.
I wish I'd said it, but I happen to be on Brett's wavelength to get the swallows.
Days when the vultures come back to get the swallows. Now, what wavelength were you on, Richard?
Shortwave.
Shortwave. Yeah.
Police calls.
Go.
Now, this young lady
Yes.
would remind you of doves. Beautiful doves.
That's right. She's
Love
a soft,
birds.
gentle lady. Yes.
So I say when the vultures come back to Brett.
To Brett.
I don't understand that.
That would account for the ratty hair and everything.
That's right.
They will get eaten by the bats in her belfry.
That's enough. Now, here we go. Betty White, you're
Once
on.
is enough.
When in doubt, if you don't say Cucamonga, you say Burbank. And I just took
Burbank.
The vultures
Come back to Burbank. Yeah, that's possible. Well, okay, you didn't score with that. Now let's see how John Clementi does with his first round question. King Arthur said...
He did not.
Yes, he did. He said, when my wife Guinevere gets amorous, she goes wild. So when I go to bed for protection, I bring along my blank.
Now, I'd like
Would you like to read it as King Arthur would have read it there?
When my wife...
No, that's not King Arthur. That's Sir Lancelot.
She gets dangerous?
No, when my wife Guinevere gets amorous,
Amorous.
she goes wild.
She goes wild.
So when I go to bed for protection, I bring along my blank.
Oh! Got it, honey. I got it.
I think the...
Now, there were two wonderful,
I should act
brilliant
as a-
answers. Yes, bagel and Pillsbury Doughboy.
Okay.
You're going to... We
Splendid.
haven't seen the end yet.
Yes, I've got it.
Oh, I don't know. When she
gets amorous, she goes wild. So when I go to bed for protection, I bring along my...
Mr. Rayburn,
Yes.
could you just check this
Yes,
out?
let
See
me
if I
just-
understand the question.
Yes, that's terrific. Yeah, you're all doing okay
Oh, well,
up
then
here.
let me write something else.
Except the guy with the fuzzy hair, he can't think. Okay.
John Davidson.
That's all
would be
right.
great to see.
I
don't mind any of
Splendid.
them.
Everybody ready over here? John Clementi. King Arthur said, when my wife Guinevere gets amorous, she goes wild. So when I go to bed for protection, I bring along my...
Armor.
armor. He wears a suit of armor.
I don't know. I thought that they were a little wilder than that. I had him bring along his guards.
Guard! Get this woman out of my room. What'd you say, Brett?
He had this terrific navy blue pinstripe,
Yes.
and it was a suit of armor.
Suit of armor. One for you, John?
See,
Tell me, Gary.
King Arthur was not a chauvinist. He
No.
believed in equality,
Right.
intermingling of roles and all that, whatever it turns out. He wore his chastity belt.
His chastity belt. Okay. Now, would you like to tell us about King Arthur?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He never wore a chastity belt.
Well, I've never heard of him doing that, but what the heck?
He brought along his armor.
His armor. That's two for John.
I feel like such a fool.
Well, the Englishman can tell us about King Arthur, can't he?
You bet your life.
All right.
You can't wear armor in bed,
No, you can't.
no matter who you're fighting on. So you do what I do. You bring along your shield.
A shield.
That only helps you in the
It
front.
works, it works.
I've seen some of the women
When you're ready to give up, you just...
Oh. Now, you tell us the real inside story about King Arthur.
Because she was alive then.
Brought along his round table, I bet.
All right, is everybody
it
finished?
to her.
Is everybody quite finished harassing this pretty lady?
And Alan Ludden had just died.
Jealousy is a terrible thing in a woman her age. It really... Let me tell you, he brought along his armor so she could kiss him good night.
Good night. That's sweet. So the end of round 1, 3-0. Round 2 will occur in a moment or so, but right now this is going to occur especially for your benefit. And now I'm ready. Okay, are you ready? All right, here we go. Now, read her off. You got a choice of A or B.
Try B this time.
You had A last time.
It's terrible.
Yes, it was. I wouldn't go for A again, ever again, if I were you. B. Oh, wait till you hear this, Rita. Zulu the cannibal was such a slow eater that before he finished eating his dinner started to blink.
Wait, oh, go ahead. No, say that again, straight, because I think I've got it.
Zulu the cannibal was such a slow eater that before he finished eating his dinner started to blink.
Oh, honey, I got it.
His dinner started to blink.
Well, don't give it to me. There's a word. Ruth, you don't have a thing in the world to worry about, sweetheart. I do.
Right. Now, we're waiting for Avery and Gary. Before he finished eating his dinner started to...
Blank.
His dinner started to...
Blank.
One more time. His dinner started to...
Blank.
Want to change yours? No, you're all ready. All right. Gary, put it in the slot if that's it. Read her off. Ready? Zulu the cannibal was such a slow eater that before he finished eating his dinner started to...
Burp.
Burp. She really is very, very hip.
Were you ever a stand-up comedian, though? You are marvelous.
Yeah, really terrific, Rita.
Does she have her own show?
No, she doesn't, but she's going to get it after this.
I think, Rita, it would be a guess.
Yes. Don't sneak those in there, Avery.
Why not?
Just show us your card.
Burp.
Burp. An unlikely possibility, but nevertheless, it's a match. I don't care how unlikely. What do you say?
I was sure I had it this time.
You did.
Hey, could you read the question?
Zulu the cannibal was such a slow eater that before he finished eating his dinner started to...
Eat him.
Eat him. Yeah, that's it. Or walk away or something like that. What do you say, Gar?
I say, what is the address of that motel in Encino?
No.
Don't tell him,
No, I'm not going to
sweetheart.
tell you.
I don't.
You didn't understand it?
No. Well, I understood it, but I just couldn't think of anything.
You
It's
couldn't?
terrible.
Yes. Well, then
I
just
just
do
said
your
walk
Charles
away.
Nelson Riley. That's a very good answer.
It is?
Is
Well,
it better
certainly.
than eat
That's
him?
terrific. Would you like to be my agent?
His dinner started to walk away. This is see?
Certainly did.
Yes. There you go. Now, what came to your mind?
Well, Rita and I have the same stomach problem. Burp.
Burp it is. That's two for you. All right. What about that Zulu? Zulu.
What
the
about
cat.
him?
What about him?
Eating a dinner and having it burp back at him. Well, I said the dinner started to leave.
Started to leave. Walk away.
Never leave your dinner.
Now, really,
Let your dinner leave you.
Achieve a tie, you've got to match Betty to stay in the game.
I hate being in this spot.
It's tough, isn't it?
It's tough because I love Rita and I wish he would stay around and run. I'm
Run,
sorry,
Miss
Rita.
That means John wins the game. Congratulations. Well, Rita, I'm sorry to see you go.
It's okay. It was fun anyway.
It was really
to you.
a pleasure meeting you. Didn't we enjoy meeting Rita?
Yeah.
It was really terrific. We got a gift for you. Thank you, Rita. Goodbye. Now, John, here we are again. You're up to 1,000. You've broken the $1,000 mark. You got 105.0 to your credit, and you got to have a go at the big money. But before we do that, we've got to do a little business, and here it is.
Today's consolation prizes are American Tourister Go Anywhere lightweight luggage, continental styling and carrying ease. American Tourister, the casual luggage that isn't made casually. And from Costco's Leathersmith Shop, 2 punishable bar stools in easy care vinyl that looks like leather, feels like leather. That's no stranger, that's a Costco. And Regal wears beautiful Mardi Gras cookware in new porcelain-clad aluminum with super hard Teflon 2 and matching poly perch. Match game 75 will continue in 1 minute.
Here we go. John Clementi, you have $1,050. Now you're going to have a go at the Big Apple. Ready?
Ready?
We polled a recent studio audience, John. We got their best response to this. Pinch blank. The answer they gave most often is worth $500. $250 the next. $100 if you match the bottom one. 3 of these people are permitted to assist you. Whom do you call on?
We'll go Richard.
Pinch me.
Pinch me. Okay.
Brett.
Brett.
How about pinch of salt?
Pinch of salt. All right.
And Arlene.
Pinch penny.
Pinch penny. So now, John, you've got pinch penny, pinch of salt, and pinch me. Do you want one of those, or have you got a better one in your head?
No. Oh, I think I'll take a pinch of salt.
Pinch of salt. Pinch of salt is the one he hopes is up there under the $500 response. But as usual, we'll start down at the bottom and reveal the $100 response. Pinch me. Who gave you that? Richard gave you that, right?
You owe me $100. sir.
Looking for a pinch of salt, here's a $250 response. Pinch hitter.
That's a good
That was
head
Gary's,
pinch hitter.
yeah. Last chance for a pinch of salt as we reveal the $500 response.
What's wrong with your wife? She has no enthusiasm.
Yes. Your wife
That'll pay
is
for your
really
wife's hospital
flipping
bills.
out over there. All right, now you got $1,550. That means you're going to play for $5,000 right now. Remember, you have to match one head-to-head. Try him to choose one now, please.
I think I'll go Richard this time.
Thank heaven!
Poor little girl.
All right, Richard, you get ready to write. Here we go with the $5,000 question. Will blank. Will blank. Will blank. All right, he's finished. Now, we call on you, John, for an answer which you think will match his. What do you say to that? Will?
And testimony.
Will and testimony?
Must be a lawyer.
That's the only thing I can think of.
The only thing that came to your mind?
That was a blank.
You drew a blank on that one. Well, in the unlikely possibility that you've matched Richard, you will get the $5,000.
I would have said last will and testament.
Last will and testament.
But no, there were so many. Will you marry me? I didn't know what to do. I just said, will you?
Will you?
Hoping he'd say yes and we'd get out of town.
You know,
What did you say?
What I thought would come to everybody's mind is Will Rogers.
We'll do it again.
All right, we'll do it again.
All right, ask me
Will
quickly.
blank. What do you say?
Choose
Rogers.
me this
What do you
time.
say?
Will you give me
I
that
said
address?
will and testimony.
Will and testimony. Okay, all right. Sorry, it doesn't match. Well, listen, you're up to $1,550, John, and you're going to meet another player now, so let's welcome Sandy Vasco. Hello, Sandy. Okay, John. You know Sandy Vasco, right? I guess you two have met backstage. How's Sandy Vasco on this day?
Fine, thank you.
Where are you from, Sandy?
I'm from East Detroit, Michigan.
And are you living here or vacationing here?
Vacationing.
And what does your husband do?
I'm single.
Oh,
And I'm a
that's what he
student.
does, huh? Well, of course.
I'm a student at Wayne State University and a tennis instructor, like part-time, to put me through school.
You're a tennis instructor?
Yes.
What can you do for my tennis elbow?
Practice your forehand.
Practice my forehand. Okay, follow me. Well, we don't have time to start right this second. We've got to do a little business first, and then we'll see what happens after that. So you come right back.
One more.
We don't have time to start. We just have time to thank you for showing up and hope you'll show up next time. Because if you don't, we're in a lot of trouble. All right? Okay. And hope you'll show up, all of you, on some future date. Some in the near future and some in the not so near future. But that's the way...
Would you like to pinpoint it?
Yes, well...
Could I ask, my son has a birthday coming up.
Yes.
And rather than give him a gift, I wonder if I could just get him to run out here and take a bow.
Get out here and take a bow.
$33.
Gary Dawson,
Hello
ladies
there,
and gentlemen.
Gary Dawson. When is your birthday? Soon. Happy birthday. All right. Now, the next time we all get together, we will have these people for your pleasure.
Buck Owens, Brett Summers, Gary Burghoff, Gloria DeHaven, Richard Dawson, and Patty Doyle.
All right, now you got to smile. Smile. And a boy. Team Labor Match Game 75. Join us next time. Goodbye.
This is Johnny Olson speaking for Match Game 75. A Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. Stay tuned for Tattletales next over most of these CBS stations.